welcome back to another Tdurrgt GT upload. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Tamaine, and right on here, right behind me, we got Bludini 2.0, and we got a very exciting video coming here for a nice Thursday. The sun is in my face now, and it is November 30th. Tomorrow's about to be December 1st of 2023. But in today's video, y'all, we're gonna be going over the modifications that I have right here on Bludini 2.0. We're gonna be going over the future build plans that I have with Bludini, and we're gonna be going over some mods that I already have that I'm going to be installing for the car. If you guys are looking to buy an S197 Mustang, this is the channel that you should stay subscribed in and stay tuned throughout the whole video. If you guys are looking for future mods to put on your S197 Mustangs to make that thing look badass, then you should stay tuned to this goddamn video and subscribe right now. I'm about to give y'all all the sauce on the very beginning part of me owning this car. I made a video like this recently, you guys may have seen, with my other deep impact blue Mustang, and that video did very good. That video probably has over 20-something thousand views, and that video helped a lot of people out. Long story short, I totaled my previous 2014 Mustang 5.0 Track Pack, which I named Bludini. I had that car for about 3 years until I totaled it about a few months ago. I was able to get the money back that I had. Basically, I had that car paid off. I was looking for another Mustang for a couple of months. I wasn't looking for a blue one, but coincidentally, here we go. We got another 2014 Mustang 5.0 Premium this time, and it is deep impact blue. I named this car Bludini 2.0 because it's Bludini 2.0. Bludini 2.0 right here is a 2014 Mustang 5.0 Premium. My previous Mustang I had was a 2014 5.0 Track Pack. The Track Pack was more performance car. Typically, it's better for performance. The Premium is better for, you know, it's a little bit more luxurious. I bought this car from a private seller for $20,500 cash. Basically paid off. It has 78,000 miles on it. It had 76,000 miles on it when I bought it. My previous Mustang Bludini has 65,000 miles on it. So what? That's about a 13,000 mile difference. This car feels really good though. Even though it's coming upon 80,000 miles, this car shifts really smooth. It had two owners. The last owner I bought it from, it was girl driven. She basically didn't even beat on the car as much, didn't put too much into the car, but I got a lot of modifications that came with the car on top of buying it for cash. So now that y'all got a baseline of how I bought the car, why I bought the car, how much I bought the car for, the mileage, we're gonna dig right into the modifications that I have on this car currently, and then we're gonna go into the modifications that I have lying around and in the future. As you guys can see right up top here, we got a Boss 302. A ported Boss 302 manifold paired up with a JLT Series 1 cold air intake. It has a JLT oil catch can, and I am tuned on LU 47-pound injectors for E85. So currently this car is not full bolt on. It's not full bolt on. It has the intake manifold, it's tuned on E85. I got my Boss 302 off my previous Mustang. After I totaled it, I was able to go to the junkyard, take the Boss 302 off, throw it onto this car, take all the modifications off the engine, throw them onto this car, and I was still able to get a tune from Lund without paying. So that saved me a shit ton of money and a shit ton of time. We're here, that's it for the engine. Something that's hidden, I got a McLeod braided stainless steel clutch line. I had some recent videos, as you guys can see right there, the braided stainless steel clutch line is into there. I just made some previous videos on installing that thing. Boss 302 JLT Series 1 cold air intake, JLT orange catch can, LU 47-pound injectors. You know, you can't really see them in there, but they're in there. And then you got the McLeod stainless steel clutch line for the engine thus far. I almost forgot. We got the wave check. Hold on 1 second. Wave check. Y'all haven't seen one of these goddamn wave checks in a minute. And I can tell you, man, hey, y'all got life jackets at the home? Cause y'all motherfuckers about to be drowning in this shit, dog. God damn, son. Sheesh, that motherfucker is still swimming out here. As we complete the mods from the engine, I got a McLeod RST twin disc clutch. McLeod RST twin disc clutch capable of up to 800 horsepower. Really, I'm going to want to boost this car, so all the applications that I'm doing them all in order, according to the seasons and according to how much money I want to spend. So we got the McLeod RST twin disc clutch over there, paired up with the MGW short throw shifter that I also just installed in a previous video. I'm yet to do a review on this MGW short throw shifter and the McLeod RST twin disc clutch. As we finish up the drivetrain and the engine, we're gonna move over to the exhaust. This car has currently stock headers on there, and it is fully straight piped all the way back. No catalytic converters, no mufflers, no resonators, full straight pipe, loud as shit all the way back. It's only fair enough that I gotta give y'all some sound clips. Like it. It's pretty loud, but it still sounds really good. The 5.0 Coyotes, man, no matter almost what you do to the exhaust, I think it's gonna sound really good. I mean, it's straight pipe. The worst you can get is going straight pipe and getting a really horrible sound, but it still sounds really good straight pipe. And that's the cheapest way to go if you want to get your car sounding really good, for now at least. Since we are in the back though, we're gonna move on to the back modifications. Here, the previous owner has basically installed the MMD spoiler on the car. I thought this was the GT500 spoiler, but it's the MMD spoiler. And you know what, guys? I actually do like this spoiler a lot. Great modification that the previous owner threw on here. To enhance the rear end a little bit more, guys, the previous owner also threw in the RTR shaved deck lid. So you can see how good it actually looks. You know, if we creep up, we creeping up, right? We're creeping up. Some cinematic shit, and then bam, that shit look good as hell. But also, boom, we got Bludini custom plates, vanity plates that I also got on the car. And this is something I always wanted to do. Moving on over to the wheel setup, guys. This car has GT500 charcoal wheels. They are 19-inch. The previous owner has also threw these wheels on the car, and I actually do like them a lot in person. The previous owner also threw in some new brakes along with drilled and slotted rotors to make the wheels and tires pop out a lot more. I really like it. A lot of other people also like it. We got a copper in the building. That's gonna wrap it up for the modifications that I have on this car. Now we're gonna go into the modifications that I have that are currently not installed on the car. Almost as well, not too much. It's not too bad, but you can damn near almost fit a fist in here. So this car is on its stock ride height right now. I got Eibach lowering springs. They're not the Pro Sport line ones that drops the car like 2 inches in the rear and I think 1 inch in the front. I think I got a drop for 1 inch in the front and 1.5 inch in the rear. And that's simply because eventually when I get a wider and bigger tire on this car, I won't have any rubbing issues. When I had the Pro Sport line lowering springs for this car, I had rubbing issues because the car was way too low, because I wanted a big ass tire back here. So I ended up having to roll my fenders on my previous Mustang with the lowest lowering springs with the 305 tire. And it worked, but the car was still low and sometimes it was still rubbing. Now, coming up from the suspension of the car, you guys see the lowering springs. I also have BMR lower control arms. And the lower control arms, they'll basically go like right under here. I don't know if you guys can see it much, but they'll go right up under there somewhere. I have the lower control arms as well, waiting to throw those on the car to reduce a lot of wheel hop that these S197 Mustangs have. One huge thing that came with this car that I never would have thought of doing myself and that a lot of people will not do, we have another cop coming in here. There's one cop to the right and then now there's one cop coming over here to this side. But if I turn around here, you guys see I have cams. I can't even concentrate. I don't know, maybe they just want to stop by for the show. I have cams. Stage 2 comp cams for this car. The previous owner gave me stage 2 comp cams with the car, guys, and that was a big buying point for me to buy this car from the seller. Not a lot of people on YouTube with S197s have a cammed Mustang. She said that she wanted basically it doesn't have low like a Corvette. You won't hear that chop. A lot of people want with cams. You want to hear that chop, and the cams are a lot of money for this car. She ended up having the cams, didn't do anything with them, and gave them to me. Now it's a matter of time with me just to install the stage 2 cams. But that is something that I'm really excited to do and really excited to bring something different to this channel with this car, because it's eventually going to be boosted with stage 2 cams. Now, since we went over all the modifications that I currently have on Bludini 2.0, and we went over the modifications that I currently own and I'm eventually going to install on Bludini 2.0, we're going to go over the modifications that I'm going to do and buy in the future. Starting off right here, well, first off, y'all probably wondering why I don't have a hood on the car. And I don't have a hood on the car simply because the previous hood that I had some oxidation on it, which was some kind of rust forming on the edges over here. And I wanted to get this car paint corrected by my buddy, like really soon after I bought the car. But I'm like, let me get a new hood and then go ahead and paint correct the car. I went ahead, sold the hood. I went to go buy another hood. When I went to the seller, I learned that it was a Duraflex hood. I didn't know that before I went there and bought it. So I made an impulse decision, bought the hood. The hood did not close, and I did not like the material as much, you know, on the Duraflex, the quality of it. So now I'm hoodless. I've been looking for a hood for like, I don't know how long. I'm trying to find a hood ASAP. I'm not looking for any type of hood though. I'm looking for a really aggressive hood. I'm not gonna go back to the stock hood. As we drop down here to the front bumper, y'all, do y'all want me to do the GT 500 front end again? That's probably obvious answer. That's probably an obvious answer, which is yes for a lot of y'all. I might just delete these fog lights right here. I'm gonna get the Roush fog lights on the bottom, go a different route with that. You know, not try to have the almost exact same setup as my original Mustang. We're gonna move on over to the suspension of the car. We already have a good amount of power that we got going on with Bludini 2.0. Now we need to sustain that power. We need to put it all to the ground. And this is something that I want to build up next, you know, kind of doing this stuff in order. So I mentioned that I had BMR lower control arms and I had Eibach lowering springs. When you guys lower your Mustang and you drop the car, the suspension will shift, you know, either one way or another. Say like this line right here, for example, I guess. Say when you drop your Mustang on the lowering springs, drop, but the car is either going to lean a little bit this way or probably lean a little bit that way. If you throw on that adjustable panhard bar, say we're over here, that adjustable, you know, that panhard bar is going to let you align your car back up to where it's supposed to be. Panhard bar is not too expensive, so that's something that we're going to be throwing on this car. Next, I have some buddies that have some strange shocks and struts for the car that they are offering me, so I might go ahead and throw those on there as well. Eventually I may get a upper control arm, adjustable control arm. Those few modifications will be it for the suspension for now. Once I do increase that power, I will eventually dive deeper into the suspension of the car. But if it ain't broke right now, I'm not gonna fix it. In between the pipes right there. With the drive shaft, I'm gonna want to upgrade into an aluminum drive shaft, a lightweight drive shaft eventually. Get rid of this two-piece drive shaft. I want to upgrade to a one-piece drive shaft for this car. Now, as we make our way back to the engine, guys, eventually I'm going to have to upgrade my fuel injectors. I'm not sure which brand I'll go with yet. With upgrading the fuel injectors, we're also going to have to upgrade our oil pump gears and crank sprocket. I'm thinking of potentially doing that when I throw on the cams for this car. And I probably need to get this car in the shop to get those cams put on pretty soon, because I'm pretty sure it's going to take a minute for whoever I choose to install the cams on my car to get them installed on my car. I want to start racing this car a lot more, taking it to the track a lot more. I never got the chance to take the original Bludini to the track. So I've been to the track previously, like last year, and I've seen some of the fastest guys racing at the track. I was filming. And it kind of inspired me a little bit more to get outside there, get on the track a little bit more, and then, you know, back home, you know. So with that being said, y'all, I want this car still to be dailyable on the street, for the engine not to have as much heat soak, not to take as much stress on the engine. I'm thinking of going with the centrifugal blower on Bludini 2.0, and I'm thinking of the Paxton 2200. My buddy Kylon has a Paxton on his Mustang. I took it for a slight spin, and that thing was off the chain, man. And I think it all comes with experience, with sitting in a couple of cars and seeing the power gains that you want. I don't want to be the fastest guy on the street. I don't want to spend so much money on a positive displacement blowers such as a Whipple. Basically the Whipple, you'll get your power gains right off the start, right off the line. With the centrifugal, you know, with the Paxton, eventually you'll see your power gains coming up a little bit more down the line. So it all depends on the route that you want to go, but that's the route that I am thinking I would want to go for sure. Things may change. Something I always wanted to do as well, guys, was put two black stripes straight down the middle of my Mustang, back over to the rear end of the car. Eventually I'm going to want to add quad tips to this car. As we hop into the interior of the car, I'm really not gonna want to do too much with the interior. Upgrade my shifter right here, some more leather bucket seats or whatnot. I like the trim that we already have in here. The speakers, they be bumping hard up in here, y'all. Be having a party up in this goddamn thing, you know. I do want to eventually upgrade from a JLT Series 1 cold air intake like into a PMOS or a bigger cold air intake system, but I don't want to pay for another tune at the moment. With the exhaust of the car, I want to get my Cook's headers back on this Mustang. Keep learning. Another guy was beeping and he gave me a thumbs up with it. Respect. If you're watching this video, respect out to you. Yo, man, that's one thing I really like about this car. It brings a lot of joy to a lot of people, you know, with everything that's going on around this world, man. And this is something that I really love to do, man. Just doing YouTube, talking to you guys, helping you guys out, giving you guys informative points on this and that, making something look really unique and sick for people to look at and myself to enjoy and inspire, man. I like to inspire, motivate, and just keep on pushing that energy to you guys. So we at this point where I'm about to install a goddamn supercharger on my car. I own my own business. You know, I'm 24 right now. If you guys don't know, I turned 24 basically a couple of months ago. That is gonna wrap it up for today's video. We went over all the modifications that I currently have on my car. We went over the modifications that I'm going to eventually install on my car that I own. And we went over the modifications that I'm eventually gonna throw on the car in the future, guys. The most big to important mods that I wanna do for this car is throwing on the stage 2 cams and going supercharged. I hope you guys stay tuned into the channel, man. Give this like on a video. If you are new, make sure you subscribe. Somebody just beeped again. Stay tuned for the next videos because we got an MGW short throw shifter in this car. This car is straight pipe. It sounds really good. And we got a McLeod RST twin disc clutch that I installed on this car. And I just broke it in by driving a good 650 miles. Definitely gonna drive the shit out of this car and have some fun in these back roads over here. So make sure y'all stay tuned for all of that. It's been a minute, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this whole video and stay tuned for the rest. We gone.